the past couple weeks, especially leading up to the Super Bowl, a lot of celebrities are now doing NFT endorsements and crypto ads and stuff like that. One of the things that I think got people started to get upset or confused about a week or two ago is when Eric Andre started doing ads for I think a Frank's Red Hot Sauce chicken bone NFT or something along those lines. And I think that confused some people because I think NFTs and crypto kind of do get associated with a type of like libertarian tech bro finance capital worldview. Eric Andre is someone who has associated himself not with that. So, I mean, first I would just say, like, what are our general thoughts on celebrities, and in particular, maybe people we might think of as cool or good jumping into the NFT game?
I've been thinking about this, and I realized for me the distinction was between celebrities and comedians. And that could be because I'm really in comedy myself. And that's like the world I'm in more. But for me, I think I felt particularly sad about Eric Andre because oddly enough, I think with comedians, I'm kind of like, your job is to be like, in a weird way, like your job is to like represent me and like to like be a normal person. Like, you know, like Reese Witherspoon, Gwyneth Paltrow, sure. Of course they're doing this kind of thing. But for Eric Andre, I'm sort of like, you know better. Like, we're supposed to think the same because you're supposed to, like, speak out against these things. Yeah. But I also realized that it's kind of fucked up to also hold comedians to these higher moral standards. But it was just like an emotional reaction I noticed in myself. I don't know if anybody else felt that.
No, there is a weird line there. I think, too, with comedy sometimes, for better or worse, there's this sense that, like, there, especially in like the alternative comedy scene, it's like the punk rock kids got inside the house and they're supposed to cause trouble, not make plans with the parents or something like that. Billy, what are your thoughts on this one?
I have to imagine, again, I have not yet done a deep dive on this, but it's so insane and you so know what you're getting into when you hire Eric Andre that it has to be, generally speaking, a joke. Even if it technically counts as an NFT, this has to be a gag NFT where they're not trying to like actually, you know, gin up capital and investment into whatever the hell Bone Coin is. But like to me, like, and I totally viscerally feel that distinction between celebrities and comedians getting into games like this. Like even between celebrities and just good talented celebrities.
I feel like the middle ground, or at least like during Super Bowl commercials, was because there were so many crypto commercials and NFT related things during the Super Bowl. Various celebrities involved, like LeBron did a thing, Matt Damon did a thing. The one that I feel like surprised the most people was Larry David's crypto commercial. Because as far as I know, Larry David is not someone who's done endorsements in the past. And Larry David's also someone that has infinite money for the most part from his Seinfeld money and his HBO checks. So I don't know, were either of y'all surprised to see Larry David? And it was like, I guess, a self-deprecating crypto commercial for those who haven't seen it. The whole premise is there's a Larry David guy and pivotal points throughout history where someone introduces him to a world-changing technology and he does a classic Larry David, not interested, not convinced, blah, 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 to signify that he is the person who's skeptical of crypto, who's going to be missing out. But I don't know, did y'all react to that at all? Because I just found it kind of weird.
It's also so long. It's such a long commercial where they do the same joke like 8 times. It's crazy. I was sad to see Larry David up there too. I was like, maybe he just doesn't know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't know what it's for. But I think I'm just being a little too naive and innocent about it. But yeah, I was surprised to see him and kind of bummed out. Because again, Matt Damon, of course he would be in one of those. Like, of course. Larry David, come on.
Honestly, Matt Damon surprises me maybe even a little more because Larry David just like, you know what, again, he's someone who'll just like take some money. And I know that like in his heart, or at least again, I think in his heart, he's like, well, this is stupid. This is a joke, but they want to pay me whatever the fuck, it's their loss. You know, whereas you have Matt Damon who has narrated a documentary about Howard Zinn and like certainly knows all the ways that capitalism just repeatedly mines working class people for bad investments time and time again. I'd say he's a little bit more culpable to me. But yeah, especially too, like the Larry David commercial is, trying to make this overly simplistic as like, oh, if you don't understand why, NFTs and crypto are so important, then you're an idiot, without actually doing edgy education about why this is specifically good, because there is no answer for why any of this stuff is specifically good. It is entirely speculation at this point. It's the definition of speculation. Maybe this will pay off huge. It's just a buying frenzy. It is absolutely going to collapse any day now. It's not to say that the idea of a cryptocurrency in general that is independent of a government and is easily transferable, in a digital cash-like way, or that NFTs, the idea of being able to assign, essentially an all-purpose label of authenticity to a digital item, those of course can have uses. And even if you don't understand what those uses are yet, and I, for the most part, don't, I can trust that that's going to come along with innovation. But just the idea of we need 100 cryptos right now, and that's being that's on the low side. I'm sure there are thousands that are being started every day. It's just sort of like, yeah, like maybe we'll buy 50 of these at 0.00 zeros 1 cent a piece, and maybe it'll blow up into a 1 cent a piece purchase and I'll get rich. Like, it's not real. It's just fundamentally not real.
I did see that Reese Witherspoon's production company just announced a deal today where they will now be developing content like movies and TV based off NFTs. And what confused me about that so much is just like, why? Like I've seen a lot of NFTs, but in my mind, I'm not like going, I can't see someone pitching a series that's about like the monkey with the ice cream cone or something like that. So stuff like that is where I am a little bit like, what the fuck is happening?
Okay, I have a really stupid question, but maybe other people have these too. Can an NFT be a movie, or is it just an image?
I think it could be a moving image, as long as there is a original digital version that via the blockchain we can show that you own the original of. So I think, and I know there's NFT, there's music that's NFTs, but I think it's a digital work of art that can be blockchain traced back to the original version that you would have the ownership over.
Thank you so much.
I think
that answered it.
I think that's it. Billy, do you know more or less than I on that?
Well, I'm just like still like so confused about what original means. Like because I truly, so much of this I'm trying to interpolate as someone who was into baseball cards and magic cards in physical forms. And it's like, okay, this doesn't matter. And there are 100,000 of a baseball card. Why do any of these, why are they rare? It's just like, well, because people want to have them. And you'd like some sense of, oh, this wasn't just made on a Xerox machine. So I can try to extrapolate on that and understand the idea of like, okay, why would I want to own an NFT of, a tweet? Where say it's just like, well, it's something that's really cool, and just to be able to say this is the one somehow. Yeah, okay, great. The problem that I'm coming up against, though, is that it's one thing if by buying the NFT of like some work of art, let's say like there was a Banksy or something that was an NFT. Yeah, if you want the rights to resell that, to use that image for commercial purposes, to license it, or in the case of like, if you want the life rights of the person who made it, like you want to make the story about the creation of the ape NFT, then okay, there's a lot that comes with that. But it does, when something is digital, it doesn't mean anything for it to be original, because the whole point of digital is that by breaking it down into non-analog bits, I can make an exact replica of it no matter what for an infinite amount of times, and there's no loss, there's no degradation. So there's no difference fundamentally, except by saying this is the original, that's something between what is an original and what is a facsimile.
I just think in general, this sort of thing, it just seems complicated and slightly problematic from a lot of different angles. But I think, of course, also just gets back to the question of like, what can we expect from people that make stuff that we like? Hey guys, if you want to hear the rest of the conversation, make sure to find us on your podcast application of choice. And if you want to support Show Me the Meaning or Culture Binge, subscribe and then rate and review on Apple Podcast. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you later.